I was also interested to hear Giddey's take on Zach, right, which you shared a quote on your Twitter account with your chat with him after practice. Giddey said about Zach LaVine, he's, quote, obviously, it's not a secret, he's a star. I think the rap he's had from the media, and for whatever it is in the NBA, it isn't fair. He's a superstar player in this league, end quote. What did you make of Giddey's comments about Zach and the fact that these guys are going to be not only teammates, but in presumptively the starting five together, trying to make a faster-paced offense work? And, we've seen a couple of clips that the Bulls have shared from our team account of some scrimmages, and not shockingly, they're fun things like alley-oops and transition offense. But
give me all of
it. I think, for the most part, I agree with Giddey in his take that the general perspective on Zach LaVine has gone way too far in one direction. Mm-hmm. And it's unfortunate for the Bulls because it's why they're stuck in this situation. But it's nice to hear a fellow NBA player and now teammate say, yo, Zach, healthy, determined Zach LaVine is still a nasty player.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think the pendulum has swung way too far on Zach. Apparently, Giddey and Zach connected shortly after the trade. They did some working out together. They watched some film together. They've been talking a lot about, what this offense is going to look like. Mm-hmm. And I think they complement each other really well. Giddey wants to push the ball in transition. He wants to grab and go. He wants to find shooters on the wing and create easy offense for guys. And Zach, I think that is perfect for him. Yes. He needs that.
Oh my God.
When you're asking him to do too much, that's, I think, when he can get himself in a little bit of trouble. When you create easy shots for him, there's very few guys in the league who can score as easily as Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
And Giddey said that too. So I think those guys are going to really like playing together. And I think they are kind of on board together with committing to a certain style of play. Giddey said this about Zach. Zach has said this, and Billy said this about Zach, that they're buying into that style that they need to do. And I think they're committed to trying to make it work as best they can. So I think they're going to be a pretty exciting pair. And I think when you put Kobe in there too, having two shooters like that coming off of screens, screening for each other, running in transition, I think it's going to be a more exciting brand of offense in transition as much as they can get out.
You saying that, I immediately flash back to our Locked On Bulls days when I kept telling people Zach LaVine is way better. Shout out to Hayes. Is way better with a point guard. And what I mean is, Zach, as you just stated, continuing to give him the ball, that's how he would step out of bounds all the time or try to create stuff on his own. If you have somebody that is a pass-first guy and not looking for their shot, it makes it a little simpler for Zach to start doing those backdoor cuts, to start getting out in transition and getting what I like for him, which is an easy 6 points a game, which is what Lonzo used to give him all the time. Just an easy 6 points. Here's a ball, go dunk it. Here's a ball, go lay it in. Here's a ball, shoot a three. It's all those things that he kind of needs to make his game, expand more. And having somebody out there, I don't want to say thinking for him, but somebody out there just controlling things and letting him know where he needs to be on the floor and him not having to worry about those things makes that a way better basketball player.
Someone else who's also thinking.
Yes.
And somebody who, as we're discussing, it seems like has a pretty solid basketball IQ, because I think you kind of have to be as bold to, geometrically speaking, make some of the passes that Giddey attempts.
True.
And some of them backfire, and he kind of was acknowledging that in his chat with y'all after practice today. But I think that was, whether it was back in the early Zach LaVine rebuild Bulls or even as recently as this past season, Zach LaVine overthinking equals bad results.
Correct.
So if you take some of that responsibility off of his shoulders, go score.
Yeah, watch out. You will see many more backdoor cuts. Notice when Lonzo left, we didn't see that a lot.
Yeah.
Zach running those backdoor cuts. Because, again, a million times I used to state that dude had the quickest first step, or at least top 3 quickest first step in the NBA. So once he makes that piron and you got a point guard who's reading that, that's easy money right there. Mm-hmm. Now I can might be able to see that again with Josh Giddey out there, and that's cool.
What was the thing that Zach said about Giddey? I think maybe it was Casey who had a quote that he tweeted out about Giddey's playing offense with Giddey and playing faster with Giddey. People were getting their jokes off about it because I think phrasing wise.
He said you got to have your hands ready or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he did say that.
This was also in regards to the inbounds passing.
Right.
He apparently like whipped one by and it almost hit someone in the face or something. He was like, yeah, you got to have your hands ready. But I think, and this is a good transition into Zach too, because we talked to him as well. And he just seems like he is like thoughtful and more patient than he has been in the past. Not to say he was like,
right.
Anything like that, but just, he seems very reflective. He seems like he understands that this is going to be a different situation, and that not that he's not being asked to contribute or not be himself, but like it's just a new thing and there's going to be some differences. And I think, I keep trying to ask these guys, like, what are the differences in the offense? Like, what is it going to actually look like? And, understandably, they don't want to like give away their playbook. So I think we're just going to have to like wait and see what it actually looks like on the floor. But I think that there is a general commitment to not only the play style, but this idea that things are going to have to change to create easier offense because of the personnel changes. And I think that is I think it's going to be a more exciting brand of basketball.
We all silly like the mayor.